Rover 75, I hear you cry. Yes, but this one's a Rover 75 convertible. Welcome to Lot 76 Cars. My name is Simon and today I'm at the Stonor Park and Gardens for the Autumn Classics meeting. Hope you enjoy some of the cars like the ones behind me that we're going to have a look at. I've already seen there's some pretty rare ones in there as well, so let's go and take a look, shall we? So this little beauty to start with is a 1951 Jowett Jupiter. 828 cars were produced, of which 300 were exported, incredibly, in a relatively short period of time. I think they were produced in the early 50s, maybe 51 to mid 50s. This is one of those 300 cars that was exported to New Zealand, and it's in incredible order. Look at the location of the radiator, where that radiator sits, right sort of in the middle towards the back. Quite an unusual location there. This one's in absolutely lovely, outstanding order. Let's just have a look at this one inside. I think I may have seen this one before at the Silverstone Classic meeting. Not sure about that. It does ring a bit of a bell. It's a beauty, produced up in Bradford in West Yorkshire. The old factory is now a Morrison supermarket, sadly, but yeah, what a fabulous car. So this really is a rare one. I don't recall seeing another one. It's a right-hand drive, looks like a UK car. It's got UK dealer plates on. Yes, it's an Isuzu Piazza. Now these are massively rare. Isuzu only known really for pickups now, but back in the day they did have a small car range. This was one of them. I think because of the relationship with GM owning Isuzu, they actually had some input from Lotus on the chassis. What an unusual shape. This one's got, I think, modified wheels, different wheels on it. Maybe suspension's been modified to be a bit lower. Some fabulous features. That huge sort of, it's not pillarless, but it's almost got a pillarless look because of the B-pillar there. It's an automatic. Wow. Now that is a rare one, isn't it? So this BMW 2002 looks like a right-hand drive UK car, what, 72, 73, and it's the lovely Bauer convertible. So if you look at the features on that car, it's got the ability just to go for the sort of more convertible look, or you've got this where you can actually zip it open at the back and you've got a semi-convertible look. What a very useful car. Not sure what the colour is of that one, but it's very pretty, isn't it? What a very desirable car. So despite the E36 BMW being launched in 1991, the E30 continued as a touring and also as a cabriolet like this one. This is a 318i and it's dated from 1993, so we must be absolutely right at the end of the production of the cabriolet, I guess. So this is a Rover P5B. It picked up the B when Rover bought rights to the small block Buick engine. This one is silver over zircon blue, or so it says. It's an F, what would that make it, a 68? Beloved of Prime Ministers, the Queen, and a whole load of other people. Remained in service on the government car fleet way after it exited production. So fond of it. This is the coupe with the lower roofline, so you'll see that the roofline here is lowered and not quite as square on the coupes. To my mind, the coupe is probably the better looking car out of the two, but both have an incredible presence, don't they? So many of you may recall that VW had an officially sanctioned built VW Polo Harlequin, where every panel was a different colour. Somebody's taken this to a personalisation level here of their own, and they've actually done this on a Lupo. Now this one's even got a Hot Wheels model in the window, showing that it belongs to Amy, so shout out to Amy, and that's Amy Jane. And there's a Hot Wheels model, so probably can't buy one of those, and you certainly can't buy a car like that, but that's a beauty, isn't it? So this is a Jensen GT. Now the original Jensen Healey, they did plan for an estate version but never actually put it into production. Later on in life, when Lotus launched the Elite, the later Elite, not the early one, and it had a sort of semi-hatchback, liftback style body, Jensen thought they were actually missing out, so Jensen Healey produced this. I think pretty much they have the Vauxhall block, similar to the Lotus of the day. So there were many special editions Minis produced. There was a couple of versions, the Red Hot and this one, the Jet Black, and this one's in absolutely brilliant order, isn't it? Stunning. Love those white Mini Light wheels. The owners even got the original brochure in the back window, which you can take a look at. A scale model. What a stunning little car that one is. Fond memories of those, I guess. So this is an Quattro, standing for first of the line Quattro, although it actually looks like a slightly later car, just looking at the lamp design at the front. It's an 89-90 car. These were the ones that really put Audi on the map, absolutely dominated rallying, and it's an absolute stunner, isn't it? Now what you might be interested to see here is if you look at the back window, look how the Quattro script is actually in the heated element in the window. Now somebody pointed this out to me on an Audi 90 he'd got the same, a Quattro version of that one, and you know, good luck with getting a new back window if you need one. What a super looking car. So this was a Mark III Granada. What a massive step change this was from the previous car in terms of shape and look. Obviously getting over the original issues that they had with the Sierra's acceptance. By this stage, that shape, that useful hatchback shape, initially hatchback rather than saloon, was pretty much accepted. One of the first volume cars with ABS. I know the Jensen FF had ABS, but volume wise this is one of the first cars to have it. You'll see the adverts make a great deal out of that, showing the an early B registered car swerving around a tractor. Fabulous. My dad had a 2-litre gear version of these. Fond memories, lots of room inside them, and so rare. The Golf G60 Rally was built really to homologate the car for rallying. It's not surprisingly enough. I think it uses a supercharger rather than a turbocharger, and I think there were about 5,000 needed to qualify the vehicle for rallying. This is a rare one. They may have been imported to the UK. If you know, let me know. If they were pretty much like this one, all in left-hand drive. I haven't seen another one of these, and this one's in immaculate condition. Those wide, let's get a better shot of those wide blistered wheel arches. You can see how much wider the track of the car is, I guess, from here as well. Unique bumpers, unique styling, but still recognisably a Golf. Lovely, isn't it? So who doesn't love an Escort Mexico? This one looks like an early car. It's a 79. It's got that early Ford script on the grille rather than the Ford blue oval. Stunning condition. There's so many of these that have been evocations. This one may well be the original car. It's got the fishnet Recaros in there. Absolutely stunning car, isn't it? Original plate in the back, dealer plate. Try not to fall over here as I get it in shot. That's lovely, isn't it? So long-term channel followers will remember this Fiat 500 from Auto Italia. It plays the Godfather tune, and it's got a wrap on it that makes it look like a very appealing burger. And it's also got a bit of red wine storage on the top. Now it would be very easy to walk past one of these sports cars not really knowing what it was. This one's a Fairthorpe, one of the huge number of low volume sports manufacturers in the UK at the time, benefiting from changes in purchase tax, using standard mechanicals from Fords of the period as well. Fords and some BMC cars. There were many of them. Couldn't exist these days. Crash protection, safety legislation sort of killed them out. But what a thriving industry we had. Now, is there anybody that doesn't love the David Batch designed Rover SD1? This is a later car, so you'll notice the front end of the early cars are slightly different. You've got this ventilation at the front, probably need that with the Vitesse engine in this particular model. That chrome trim around the edges of the bonnet. What a stunning colour. Is that zircon blue? I can't make my mind up. I'll put it in the comments if you know different. I'm beginning to doubt myself on that now. Resplendent in Mars Red is this very early UK Golf GTI. It's in left-hand drive form, ordered as a special order from VW's then export office, I think in the UK in London. In actual fact, at the time, demand was actually outstripping supply for these. So basically, if you wanted one, right-hand drive cars had to wait. This is in stunning condition. This may well have been a car that's been on another channel. I suspect it has. The condition of this under the bonnet, this will be the original 1600cc, what, 115 horsepower, something like that, 105. Absolutely stunning. What a beauty. Originally registered in Oklahoma and actually imported into the UK in the 90s, is this relatively rare Corvette Collector Edition. Some unique changes, unique paint colour apparently. The glass hatch is also unique. I'm not sure about what's completely unique about that, but to me, these cars with the wide arches, this is a V, it's registered, so if that represents the date of manufacture, that would make it, I think, what, an 80 on a V, something like that. Incredible looking cars. So Porsche 924s, despite their origin with the old VW van engine block, are still Porsches, and their transaxle design makes them really, really nice handling cars. Love the pop-up lamps. This is a 1980 and it's a Le Mans edition, and I suspect that is one of a very small number of cars. Love that pinstriped interior. So of its day, isn't it? So there are some special cars here as well, some really special supercars, but Runnymede Motor Company have bought this fabulous Bentley Continental R from 1996. It's still got 385 horsepower or something, it says. It's a stunning car in this aubergine colour. I'm not sure whether the camera picks this up. This sort of aubergine really suits it, to be honest with you. I don't ask about the price, but it's definitely out of Lot 76 cars budget for sure. So here we've got one of the latest Swedish built cars rather than the Jensen built cars, which have got a slightly different sort of cow horn bumper design. It's a P1800S in full Saint trim, white with that lovely burgundy embossed interior. It's in stunning condition, isn't it? Absolutely stunning. Again, fabulous car. I'd love to have a go with one of those. If you've got one, drop me a note. So the company had changed ownership, originally led by Lee Noble, but this is a later M600. I believe this uses a twin-turbo Volvo engine. I'll put that in the comments. This one's been carbon fibered to within an inch of its little life. That engine looks pretty good, doesn't it, through the rear hatch. Incredible looking car. I'm not sure where the lights have come off. I think those lights might be off a Ferrari, you know, I'm not quite sure. Incredible. So this is not your average 911, if indeed there is such a thing, but it's a Dakar, especially this in Dakar. You can have these with the full Rothmans rally trim. Johnny Smith tested these along with other people on the Late Break show. It's got those vents in the bonnet there. It's got the increased ride height you'll be able to pick up on there. Not too many Porsche 911s have a ride height like that. Full bucket, probably carbon fibre seats. Lovely in this sort of duck egg type colour, this metallic duck egg type colour. I'm sure it's got a great fancy name, but that's what it looks like to me. What a stunner. So top marks if you recognise this and some of the parts on it. It's a Dutton Reef amphibious car, no longer produced, but Dutton are still in existence producing spares. You recognise those front lamps? Okay, I'll give you another clue. Let's have a look inside. It'll, while we're doing that, it will operate on land at up to about 65 miles per hour. A bit slower in water, yeah. You're getting warm and out, yeah, it's a Fiesta Dash. Quite a unique set of controls you wouldn't find on a Fiesta. And perfect for cruising down the river. So we're going to have a chat with Lyndon, who's the owner of this fabulous Dutton Reef, to tell us about the appeal of these fabulous amphibious cars. So let's hand over to Lyndon, who'll tell us a bit more.
Yeah, main thing is if you like messing around on the river and have a boat, you've got complications of moorings, which are very expensive these days, and getting to and fro the boat. Where with an amphibious car, although you have to have a river license, you take it to a slipway, spend a day messing around on the river, up the slipway, and drive home at the end of the day. No complications, no mooring fees.
No boat to pull. And
That's right.
You drive this on road? You've driven far on road with this?
Yeah, it's been to the International Rally in France and all over the south of England. Yeah.
And what's it like driving it on the road? Obviously on the water is a different matter.
Yeah, no, on the road it drives like just a conventional car. It'll cruise along about 65.
And the engine's from?
It's a Fiesta Mark 7 Z-Tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no shortage of power there with that engine as well.
No, that's right.
And what about on the water? What's the sort of speed on water compared to a boat knots?
On the water, any boat on the Thames is restricted to 4.5 knots anyway, so it'll easily achieve that. And the jet unit on the back, which drives it in the water, that's belt driven from the main, the one engine.
Oh, fabulous.
And once you get in the water, you just pull a lever, it engages the jet unit, disengages the wheels, and away you go.
Oh, fabulous. Well, thank you for telling us about
Pleasure.
it. Thanks again. Cheers. So this is a one-off Rover 75 convertible. So let's have a look here at the roof going up. Yeah, you eyes do not deceive you. We've got a power roof on a Rover 75. Absolutely incredible, isn't it? What a work of art the owner's created with that one. Beautiful. And there you have it, with the roof up, a Rover 75. So let's have a chat with the owner and find out how he created this fabulous car, shall we? So I'm going to get the owner to tell us about this fabulous Rover 75 convertible. I've never seen one before, so let's get the story from the owner. So let's pass over to him and he'll tell us a bit. Jerry, tell us about this fabulous Rover 75 convertible. It looks like it could have rolled out of Longbridge or Cowley. What's going on?
Well, I've made several Rover conversions before, and I wanted to particularly make a Rover 75 simply because Rover didn't, and I wanted to show the public what could have been.
Right.
So I bought a 4-door standard Rover 75, converted it into a 2-door convertible, as you see here.
Wow.
It took me about a year, just over a year, and I suppose the hardest part I had was using the Mercedes roof and trying to operate it.
Oh, it's a roof from a Mercedes. What from?
Mercedes E-Class.
An E-Class roof, okay.
Yeah. And I couldn't get into the Mercedes electronics to use their control unit.
Right.
So I spent nearly 3 months designing and trying to work out how to make a control unit. I got there in the end, but it nearly did for me.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is not the work of a moment. This is not a hacksaw over a weekend job, is it? There's a lot more to it than that. So how long in total to get it to this level that we're at now?
I suppose I didn't keep an hourly log on it, but I would imagine just over a year.
Wow.
And plenty of wine.
Yes, I can imagine, yeah. Well, thank you for telling us about it. It's a fabulous car. I'm really pleased to have seen it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So this is a Sunbeam Alpine Tiger built by Mate in the Roots Group Sunbeam Alpine, together with a Ford engine to try and crack the American market. Actually surprisingly built by Jensen Motors. This one's had a few mods on it as well. We're going to get the owner, Alex, who's with the car, to tell us a bit more about it. It's quite a special one. He's had it quite some time. It's still got quite a turn of speed with the power output and weighing just over a tonne. So without further ado, let's hand over to Alex and get us to tell us a little bit more. So I'm here with Alex, who's going to tell us about this fabulous Sunbeam Tiger. Interesting stories on these cars. I won't even attempt. Let me hand over to Alex, who's going to tell us a bit more. Alex, tell us about this fabulous car, please.
Well, this is a very early right-hand drive version of a Sunbeam Tiger. The Sunbeam Alpine wasn't selling very well in America, so they went to Carroll Shelby, and asked him what he could do, and he said, let me see, I think I'll put a V8 engine in exactly what he did with the Cobra. And this was actually developed in secret. And then they had to bring it back to England as a prototype and show Lord Roots what it was like, and apparently he did the test drive with the handbrake on, but was so enthused he came back and immediately ordered
Wow.
V8 engines from Ford.
That's incredible.
So there's about 7,500 in total produced, of which the vast majority went to the United States. Shelby got a royalty on every car which was being made. I think that he originally wanted to make them himself like he did the Cobras, but I think Roots got a very, very good offer from Jensen,
Right.
who had just finished the P8 1800, the Saint.
Yes, production, yes.
And
Transfer.
I suspect they gave Roots a very, very low price.
Right.
So they were made, the bodies were made by Pressdale Fisher, shipped to Jensen to fit things like the V8 engine and so on, and then sold through the Roots network.
Fabulous. And then it stopped when obviously Chrysler bought the Roots Group,
That's
didn't
correct.
they?
They didn't want to have a car which was powered by Ford, and in America, even people got them serviced at Ford agents.
Yeah, the ultimate
So,
embarrassment, really.
and the Chrysler small block wouldn't fit because their distributor is at the back of the engine, and they tried various methods, but it just didn't fit. So, just under 3 years of production.
And this must still be a fairly nippy car today with the power output, I guess.
Yes, this particular one is producing just under 350 brake horsepower.
Wow. And the weight's probably what, just over 1,000 kilos?
Yeah,
something
about
like
that.
Wow.
So, leaf springs at the back, small tyres.
A bit lively.
It's luckily got a long accelerator travel.
Yeah.
But yes, people sort of ask me what's the traction control, and I say my right foot.
Fabulous, thank you. Alex, thanks again for talking to us about it. Superb,
Okay.
thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
So this is a 1960 Austin Healey Frog Eye Sprite. The owner's had it since '85, restored it for a wedding in 1990, and it's even occasionally got over 60 miles an hour. It proudly boasts. What a fabulous car. I think these were an 848cc engine. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong on that one. Not the fastest thing on the road. Fabulous story behind how it got the lights on the bonnet. Originally pop-up lights, but too expensive to engineer, and subsequently it had these perched on the bonnet and picked up that name, the Frog Eye Sprite. Never officially in the name, but affectionately known as the Frog Eye Sprite. So Lotus planned to build 100 of these turbo spreeds with the unique Essex Petroleum livery to celebrate the relationship that they had with Essex Petroleum, who sponsored their Formula One team. Now that sponsorship came to an abrupt halt, and the plan for 100 cars was abandoned. In actual fact, they only produced 45 of these in this unique Essex Petroleum livery. So this is a unique car. It's one of 16 MG X-Power SVRs. This has got the 5-litre engine, not the smaller 4.6 Mustang engine, built in limited numbers in the Phoenix 4 Rain at MG Rover. I think the donor car is something like a Di Tommaso Mangusta or something like this. We'll try and have a chat with the owner in the second, but this one is a unique paint finish as well. Really, really special car. To me, probably one of the rarest cars here at the show today. So without further ado, let's have a chat with the owner and get him to tell us a bit more about it. Stan, tell us about this very special MG SVR. It's built on a base car, isn't it? They weren't a donor car. What was the donor car for this?
Mangusta.
Mangusta. And this is incredible. This is the SVR version.
This is the SVR with the 5-litre engine in.
So it's the Mustang engine, is it?
No.
Ah, okay.
It's the 4.6 is a Mustang engine, which
Right.
is the SV.
Right. Okay.
In most cases, but there are so many derivatives, you could get anything. But the SVR is the 5-litre standard, just under 400 brake horsepower.
Right. So how many of these were built then?
16.
Wow. 16 of this particular derivative. Wow.
Yes.
And in total,
80.
wow. So we're not talking big numbers here.
No.
And this is an original UK car?
Yes.
Right. Okay. And how long have you had it?
10 years.
Wow. And what inspired you to buy this? Because it's a left field choice. It's not the obvious one to buy, is it? It's a really special car, isn't it?
I
Unique.
saw them at the NAC at the one of the car shows when they first came out,
Right.
and I thought, ooh, that's nice. And I'm a bit of a V8 geek anyway, because I have an old B Roadster at home,
Okay.
which is with a V8 in it. And prior to that, I had the other MG. Name forget the name what it is, but anyway, I saw this and I thought I'd like to have one, but they were 95,000.
Wow. Okay.
This one came up 10 years ago, and I got made redundant from work. Hence the car's here.
Wow. Well, what a great present to yourself. Absolutely fabulous.
I had to have permission from the wife.
Well, of course, don't we all? We need that. Certainly, in terms of the switchgear inside, what Ford? Some Ford switchgear, is it?
Maserati.
Oh, it's Maserati switchgear. Okay.
Maserati.
Okay.
I know that because that one failed,
Okay.
and I had to replace it,
Wow.
and that was a major task.
Yeah.
To
Okay.
replace that unit there, which is behind there, cost me £400.
Wow. And trying to get spares for these and keep them on the road. How difficult
You'd be
is that?
surprised what's fitted in here. That's Maserati as well. The dashboard.
Okay.
The gearbox is not Ford. Gearbox is Getrag, German.
Okay.
The back axle is Dana. Dana, which is made in Australia.
So it's just a question of finding them from the parts catalogue from the different.
The wing mirrors are over 75.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
Door handles are MGTF. The engine is Ford.
The front lights are Punto, Fiat Punto,
yes,
aren't they?
they are.
Lesser known fact. Yeah.
So you can get the parts. The worst bit will be because the car's totally carbon fibre.
Right. Okay.
So if you have an incident of any shape or form, parts are very difficult to get. I'm not saying you can't get them, you can get them. But the special paint job on this one is a special 3-layer coating,
Wow.
and you can't match it.
So you've got to paint the whole car.
Yes.
Wow. Well, it's an absolutely fabulous car. I mean, as you said, one of low numbers, but this one being one of 16 with a 5-litre engine, it's fabulous. And
There's one of 4 in this colour only as well.
just 4 in this colour as well. Right, so even more special. Well, Stan, many thanks for talking to us about it. Really appreciate it. Thanks very much.
I'm lucky to have one.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. So this is a special and rare car. It's a Facel Vega HK500. It's almost like the French version of Jensen. So French built with a Chrysler V8 engine, and quite built in small numbers. Love that curve around windscreen there. If we get to the back, they've got some incredible design features. Look how that windscreen curves around. It's from '61 this, but it's reminiscent of some 50s American cars, naturally trying to appeal to the American market. But just picking out some fabulous features like this rear light. Now just take a look at the light. So it's not all as it seems. You can see the shape of it, but within the light you've got a rather big V. What an incredible car that is. Super rare. Left-hand drive, sold mainly for the American market, where it didn't really succeed because it was twice the price of a Lincoln aimed at the same market. But lovely to see it today. So this Lotus Europa has an interesting history. It was a race car, previous race car. It's been restored, and it's got the iconic John Player Special Team Lotus livery. This one's got the big valve twin cam Lotus engine in it. Obviously bears homage to the fact that it was the championships that Lotus had back in the day. Interesting fact with this particular car, with the Lotus Europa, the designer of the Lotus Europa also designed the Black & Decker workmate, believe it or not. Yeah, that's true. Lovely. So we've got two of my favourite Ferraris here. First of all, we've got the 365 Daytona. This one is a rare plexiglass car, so rather than built in steel, it's built in plexiglass. And it was actually owned by Mark Bolan. Anybody remember Mark Bolan back in the day? Pretty famous rock star. And this was his car. It's had quite an interesting history, and it looks absolutely immense. These are incredibly expensive cars. The Ferrari Dino 246 GTS doesn't originally bear any Ferrari badges, just bears as the Dino badge. I think it's got the 2.4 think it's a 2.4 V6 engine in the car. Incredible. Also used the same engine, I think, in the Fiat Coupe as well. What stunning cars. Many of them would remember these from the I think it was the Persuaders TV show, driven by one of the characters, driven by Tony Curtis. What a fabulous car. Yeah, if I had the money, I'd certainly have one of those as well. So this is one of a very low number of TVR Sagaris ever built. Not so many built in this pearlescent orange, I gather. We're going to try and have a sit in it. It's got the Al Mellin designed engine. Fortunately, the engine's on display here. So without further ado, let's have a sit inside and see what it's like to be sat in a TVR Sagaris. So we're sat in one of 211 TVR Sagaris produced. It's got the, I think, the Al Mellin designed engine. It's in pearlescent orange. Absolutely incredible, these milled aluminium buttons. They didn't buy switchgear from other people lightly. Look at the details on the milling of the all the controls. Nothing out of the parts catalogue of Ford or Austin Rover or anybody else. Uniquely TVR, and I say one of a very low number of cars built. Fabulous. This MGC spent its formative years on the island of Jersey, I believe. It's got this Sebring kit celebrating the successes or endeavours of MG at the Sebring Raceway, I believe, in the USA. Absolutely lovely. Got those wide Sebring arches on there, and with a 3.5 litre Rover engine, I bet it goes, doesn't it? What a fabulous looking car. Love the mini lights as well. In iconic Alitalia national flag carrier of Italy livery is this fabulous Lancia Stratos. Let's take a look inside. Engine packed in the back there. Could it be an original? It's possible, isn't it? Absolutely superb interior. Unrivaled rally car. Probably one of the most successful rally cars pre-Quattro. As you can see, this one is period correct with the Campagnolo wheels. It's even got the crash helmet on the roof, ready to go. What a fantastic car, isn't it? So this 1958 220 Mercedes-Benz Ponton Cabriolet is one of 20 in right-hand drive ever made. Surprisingly enough, purchase tax and import duties really put a dent in foreign motor sales pre-Britain joining the EC, or the EEC as it was at that time. This was ordered specifically by an officer in the British Army, and didn't he order a beauty? Absolutely lovely car. That's traditional Mercedes interior. Column change, can you see the column change there? That sort of Bakelite type fittings, lovely wood trimmer, how it curves round. Absolutely in concourse winning condition, this one. Trying not to fall over as I walk backwards here and taking its magnificence. What a super looking car. So this was built by Abbott of Farnham, the coach builders. It's a Bristol 405, one of the first Bristols not really to look like the BMW pre-war derived models that Bristol ran with for a while. There were, I think, something like only about 42 of these actually built. It's got some stunning design features. Look at that central Cyclops lamp that it's got there, rather. Incredible, beautiful green bodywork complemented by that burgundy coloured hood. We'll just take a look at the back, because he's got a touch of Batmobile about here. Have you seen those? With those Batmobile fins at the back. What a fabulous car. So this is an incredibly rare Porsche 959 four-wheel drive, built in limited numbers. Yes. What a car. With a 5.2 litre V12 and 455 brake horsepower, it can only be a Lamborghini Countach. What an incredible, immense car. How many bedroom walls back in the late 70s and 80s were festooned with a poster of a Countach? Fabulous car, isn't it? So I guess 2 consecutive weeks we've seen Porsche Spiders. I'm not sure if it's an original one, difficult to tell. Could well be the quality of cars at this event. Again, a bit short in terms of passenger comfort there, but in fact, if you want a super Porsche, this is maybe the one for you. I'm no early Ferraris expert, but I'm guessing this is a 250 GTO short wheelbase. I think it's probably more than likely an original car. It's an absolutely immense car. It's got its racing number. It's number 7. Hopefully lucky for some. It's BDRC sticker on the side. And let's just have a look at the exhaust pipes at the back now. Just take a look at the size of these exhaust pipes. They are absolutely immense. Let's get a close-up on those. Wow, I don't think Quick Fit would supply those, would it? So this is one of 20 Helm rebuilt or built E-types based on the 3.8, not the flat floor version. You see there's a bit more legroom in this one. It's got things like soft closed doors in there. It's got a lot of subtle upgrades in there, trimmed with the help of an interior designer, but still doesn't look out of place. Wouldn't look out of place in this, does it? Manual gearbox. It looks like it's got some super fitted luggage in the back. Probably the luggage worth more than my classic car alone, isn't it? Obviously that typical side opening E-type tailgate. Those lovely rear lights that I think look absolutely fabulous. Well, they've done a great job with that of Helm anyway. I daren't ask what the price is, but it's definitely out of budget, surely. Now there's something really appealing about having a 4-seater 4-door Maserati like these from the 80s, I would guess. This is a 430. Love the registration number on that one, by the way. Absolutely lovely Italian designed interior. Yes, like many of them, it's an automatic as well. Beautiful condition, isn't it? What a stunning looking car. Yeah, I really like that one. That is incredible, isn't it? What a car. So thanks again for joining me on Lot 76 Cars at the Stonor Park Autumn Classic Car event. Hope you've enjoyed the cars we've seen and the owner interviews we've had. Please like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications so as to be informed of my next video. And once again, thanks for watching.